Good morning, and welcome to Breakfast Stream. Hi.
You have coffee.
I do have coffee.
Did you try one of the new ones?
What new ones?
We've had the same coffee type for like months now. And I put new ones in. They're red.
I haven't been using the drawer.
Okay.
I have a philosophy. If I use the drawer, the drawer starts going away, right?
Yeah.
But if I use the box, the drawer stays full. So when we have guests, we don't have to refill it for guests.
But normally the box is away.
Yeah, but it hasn't been.
I know, I forgot to put it away.
So I'm like, might as well just use it from the reservoir, right? Instead of using it from the thing that we let guests use. Because otherwise we gotta... Anyway.
Vagabond has a good point. I take it from the drawer.
Yeah, but if I don't, that's half as many that needs to be refilled.
DJ Sherbert, Steven, I have a philosophy. Mal, sigh.
How's everyone doing today? I'm awake. And that's a good start. That's a good start. It's not everything, but it's a good start. You gotta start somewhere. Let's have just a small moment for everyone who feels that, to just kind of have a brief moment of solidarity where you're like, yeah, I'm awake, and that's where we're starting. So that's how I feel. I'm just like, all right, I'm here.
Kepler did not wake me up last night. At all. There was no crying that I heard. But I went to bed a little late. Because I was like, book.
You stayed up and read a book?
Yeah. Not long.
Okay. I'd recommend. I mean, I can't tell you what to do with your life. You're a human adult. But I would recommend when you get into bed to like go to sleep. Because what happens is then you have less sleep.
And he says, what did you read? So an author I really like is doing a read-through of her trilogy, the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. And on her Instagram, she's been posting little things that are like, this here is straight up Russian fairy tale. This here is like straight up people from history. Because it's a retelling of a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's set in winter mostly, so she wanted to do that in the winter. So I've been kind of doing that alongside her to read it again.
Mel's also been replaying Mother 3.
I have been.
You're getting... I would say
I just started
getting,
chapter 7.
Yeah, I would say you're getting close to the end, but...
Chapter 7 is long.
But chapter 7 is the longest chapter by, like, no small margin, so I don't know what percentage of the game you're through. More than half, but, yeah. It used to be that Mal played through Mother 3, like, a fair bit, like, every once in a while. And
yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a very long time.
It's been a while, and Mal's like, oh, I want to play. Yeah, Mr. Gameboy says, what have you been reading? I know you're a big reader. That's true. I read, I read a manual.
Yesterday I read a manual. Mr. Death Kills. He reads Mac rumors.
Sure do.
Last night, he was like, hey.
He reads his emails. Sure don't. No, that one I'm not very good at. I will, get better at that someday. I do read chat. I'm best off reading here on Twitch. I can read alert and chats, and I'm good at that. I'm good at that. When you gonna read it, J-Spook? Let me. There's only 2 here. I think this might be the smallest amount of alerts we've started a breakfast stream with. We have 7 months from Tsunami Kitten, and 19 months from Wicked 3DS. Thank you both. I think everyone already got their subs in.
Yeah.
Oh, but because I mentioned it, here it comes. Here they come. We have a subscription from Moman of the 127th. Welcome.
Coffee.
300 bits from Gold Mage, who says, so as someone pointed out last stream, there is a frog called the hairy frog. Breeding males develop hair-like skin bumps on their bodies and thighs. They also have claws, which are really just bones. They can intentionally break through their toes. Real claws/hair are made of keratin. I hate the phrase bones they can intentionally break through their toes. It's got big werewolf vibes to me.
Yeah.
Where you, like, you know, yeet your skin. You just yeet your toes.
Isn't this
There's also
jam beautiful?
there's also a frog called Crazy Frog.
This color. It's
But I don't think Crazy Frog's around
It's very pretty.
anymore. Yeah, it's colorful. It's colorful.
What jam is that? This is peach jam I made and then froze.
When I was at Player's Choice last, I was just looking through the PlayStation 2 section, and I bought I think it's a racing game.
Did you curse Roland the whole time?
Yes, but I just do that daily. But
That's how he
lives.
Yeah.
He needs
that
fuel.
to sustain him.
Is it up there? I don't know where it is. It's here in the house, but it's a Crazy Frog racing game. I don't remember what it's called, but probably like Crazy Frog Racing or something. Anyway. Oh, the bite got me.
That's scary.
I was like, what? 43 months from Colin 4501, 37 months from how is Peggy doing? Peggy hopefully asleep. Hopefully not stirring up anything in the depths of hell. 311 bits from Aldo says, hi, I heard Steven was challenging chat again, so I decided to participate. Listen, I didn't challenge chat. I was just saying, I was making an observation, right? Because I started the stream and I was like, oh, you know, this is probably the fewest alerts we've had to start with in a long time. Certainly of this year. That's all. 300 bits from Squid says, more alerts. Okay. I just started replaying Galaxy 2 yesterday since your streams have made me want to play it again. It's a good game. Mm-hmm. It's a good game. I'm really excited. I think a general feel for me is like I'm always excited for Fridays because it's always fun to play whatever we're going to play. Mm-hmm. But Galaxy 2 especially. Galaxy 2 real fun. We're up to 21 stars. That's exciting. Oh, I think today... Today I have the first stream VOD scheduled also. So, morning, Haley. Happy Thursday to you.
Morning, Haley. I'll be seeing Haley later.
Yeah, that'll be fun. The first stream VOD is scheduled for later today, so if you missed the first VOD, you can watch it. And if you missed the second VOD, it's on Twitch if you really wanted to see it. We get 300 bits from Cock9 with the TS Jaunt Bike, Star Rain, and 36 months from Item Crafting Live. Congrats on the 3.
That's a good question, MCL Blue. Has Steven ever picked a game for Friday he ultimately didn't like and dropped? The only thing I can think of is Loco Roco.
Yeah, Loco Roco.
And the only reason we had to drop it is because I got motion sick.
Mal was so physically ill we could not proceed. We did one episode. Like, we played through 25 minutes of it, and Mal was like, I am going to puke. And I was like, ah. So we stopped. It's true. Jill J says Mal wasn't the only one. Yeah, a huge chunk of the audience was also super sick and was like, we can't see this. And I think the thing that is so unfortunate is that Loco Roco is an amazing game. However, it was originally a PSP game. And it is so much easier to deal with the motion sickness because it's not taking up so much of your vision, and also you're literally holding the device where you can physically tilt it. Because if you're not familiar with Loco Roco, the whole game is using the shoulder. It's using the shoulder buttons to tilt the world, and that's fine on a handheld. When you're looking down at a handheld and you have like the whole other world around you,
The context.
yeah. When you are playing it on a television where it's taking up the whole screen, that's a problem. Alder says, can you record PSP? I mean, I don't think I can. I think there's specific models that can, but that wouldn't solve the problem, right? The only thing that would happen is it would allow us to play it, I guess, but the audience would still get super sick. So Haley woke up on a very interesting side of the bed.
Stop trying to become brilliant and instead eat tiny Eddie's big ferocious chewies.
Who's a big ferocious chewy? 1,000 bits from Leaf, who says, hello, Mr. Tiny Eddie. I'd like a good morning wake-up snack, please. Also, good morning, grandparents. I hope y'all are doing well. We're doing pretty good. Honestly.
Stop trying to be brilliant.
Oh, I forgot that was the beginning of the Tiny Eddie phrase, and I thought you just said that, and I was like, what? I was trying to find the context for that, so I had to scroll up. I'm really glad I did. Morning, hope you guys are doing well. Stop trying to be brilliant. And I'm just like, Mal, you okay? Big ferocious chewies. Which is, I think, when you have a room at a Star Wars cosplay convention full of Chewbacca's. You have multiple big, ferocious chewies. Anyway, we're doing well. How do I explain this? I went back to the cardiologist. Anyone that's already following on Instagram probably has seen this. I went back to the cardiologist on yesterday. It was yesterday. And when I went, I knew that they were going to give me a heart monitor because they want to get some data. But they didn't give me any other information beyond that. They were like, heart monitor. And I was like, okay, so I assume I'm going to get a heart monitor. So I went to the cardiologist, and I sat down. The lady's like, oh, Stephen George, you come here. I was like, okay. So I sat down, and she was like, okay, I'm just gonna go over this the monitor, okay? And I was like, sure. She's like, so this is the monitor, and this is the button. If you press this button, it shows you the battery, how much battery power is left, and over on here, this is the volume. So
there's a volume?
It'll beep for whatever reasons, and I was like, okay. And she's like, and then on the back here, this is the battery door. So what you need to do is when you need to take the battery out, you need to slide it to the right and then pull the battery. Make sure you pull the battery straight out and not like this, because it won't come out. And I was like, okay. She's like, now it also comes with this briefcase, and the briefcase has got a charger in it and a spare battery. Now the battery will last more than 24 hours, but I recommend just change the battery every day. Just do it every day when you wake up. Just change the battery. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and here are here's your what do they call them? I don't know. There's a name for them. The sticky.
Noah here this morning?
There's the sticky things with the electrodes. I don't remember what the word was for them. I'm going to call them electrodes. She says, leads. Yes, thank you, Anise. Leads. She's like, here's your leads. She's like, and, you know, you've got...
Sticky boys.
You've got... Just, you know, you've got all the leads in here that you'll need. And I looked at it, and I was like, it was a lot of leads. Here's a lot of leads. And I was like, oh, that's like a lot of leads. She's like, yeah, you'll want to change them, you know, after every shower. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not planning on showering like 10 times a day. And she goes, well, this is a 2-week supply. And I was like, wait, how long do I have this monitored? She goes, 2 weeks. And I was like, oh. She's like, they didn't tell you? I was like, no, they have not told me anything. She's like, oh, yeah. You gotta wear this for 2 weeks. You'll bring it back. You'll bring it back in February. And I was like, oh. Neat. Haley says, didn't they ask for your watch data? Last place I went to told me to get a watch because the data was good and would save me from needing one of those right away. Nope. Nope. They're certainly welcome to have it. But they did not ask. And like in fairness, I'm sure that the level of detail they can get from the multiple things is probably better than the watch. But I would have assumed they would have at least wanted it, and they didn't want it. And I was like, okay. So
CJ says, man, I only had to wear one for
right?
for 2 days. Yeah, that's what we thought it was gonna be.
I thought 2 days, and no, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So yeah. So yeah, I have it on now. I think I'm allowed to show you. This is it.
That's the device.
This is the device. It also has like a
belt loop.
Yeah, she told me she was like, do not use the belt clip. And I was like, oh. She's like, don't use it, they break. And I was like, okay. So yeah, it's the heart monitor, and it's got leads coming out, and I got one here, here, and here. And then I have all of the stuff to like change the sticky boys. They're yeah. We have too many things that are called sticky boys. Yeah.
So that's what that is.
It's so a few things. It's heavier than you would think.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not. I'm not saying it's like the heaviest thing in the world. Thomas, kind of, yeah. A very not exciting iPod. It's not the heaviest thing in the world, but like it has enough weight that you're like, oh. Anytime you move, and I'm just like, that's a long time. 2 weeks is a long time. So, let's see. Do you wear it while sleeping? Yeah, you wear it. You. The only time you don't wear it is when you shower. So you take it off for a shower, but otherwise you wear it. And I actually haven't showered yet since I got it, because yesterday I was like, that's too much. I was like, I can't, I'll do it tomorrow. So after stream, I'll probably exercise a little bit, and then I'll finally get a shower and do all the stuff. It doesn't seem hard.
Did she tell you like where to put them? And...
Yeah, she put them on me, so I know where they are, because I can look at where they are. But also, she's like, it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
She's like, it needs to be in like the general vicinity of these things. She's like, but it's actually not as important as you would think. And I was like, oh, okay. Neat. Interesting. So he just says, I was told not to take a shower while I had one. They probably would do that if you just have it for 2 days.
Yeah.
But if they told me not to shower for 2 weeks...
Yeah, I might go stay with Haley if that was the case.
Yeah, I don't... Even Kepler would be like, nah, man. I can't do that. Yeah, wearing it while you sleep is awful. And the reason is... you have 3 leads. You have one here and then 2 here. And the one down here on your stomach prevents you from laying on that side. So I can only sleep on my right side.
Or your back.
Or my back. So I'm used to incorporating my left side also. And it's kind of, it sucks a little bit to be like, oh, I want to flip. I can't. Well, it's fine. Anyway, let's read some alerts. We got 44 months from Harm NTG. 300 bits and Platinum Pikachu says, this morning I saw a neighbor's cat climbing a tree. It got onto a branch about 20 feet off of the ground, realized this was a bad idea, and had to climb back down tail first. Cats can be real amusing to watch. At least it didn't get stuck.
Yeah.
So that's good. At least it climbed down. As opposed to one of the classic stories of fireman has to come get the cat out of the tree. And then put the cat on the ground, and the cat immediately goes back up the tree because the cat's like, nah, that's where I wanted to be.
Renee says, I spilled water on my side of the bed, so I slept on Dieter's side. He's in the field.
Seems like a good...
Yeah.
Seems fine. I mean, it's going to dry, right? So instead of having to deal with it, you're just like, I will let nature dry this, and I'll sleep over here. Yeah. Haley says, it took a year before I could lay on my right side, and I can only do it for like a minute. Yeah. So I don't have it that bad. I just can't lay on my side for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Ultra House gifted a sub to the Kubliest. Appreciate it. We got 300 bits from Caber. He says, I did that heart monitor thing a few years ago. I wore it for almost 3 weeks. It was annoying. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like I may have worn a heart monitor for some period of time. I don't remember, but I think I did. I think it was like a decade ago because I did some cardiology stuff a decade ago. Haley, that would be inconvenient for both of us. It's too long. It's too much time. But you tried. Gold star. Yeah, I say last week. Last decade. I think I had a heart monitor for a short amount of time. I did the stress test and all that thing when I was in my early 20s. Because that was when I first started having weird heart stuff, because I was having a bunch of chest pain. Mm-hmm. Turns out it was stress. And I'm just like, I was stressed in my early 20s? What? Why? Why did... What? What? That seems unlikely. So, you know, I did all the cardiology stuff then. The other time is I also had the leads connected to my brain. Because I did that when I was in high school.
Yeah.
There's a photo somewhere of me with me.
Do you want me to take a cursory glance over where all your photos are and see if I can find it?
No,
Okay.
It's not worth it. You'll never find it. It's gonna be too hard. But like, they connect all the leads to your head, and then you've got
Backpack.
yeah, it's like it's a backpack that you carry, and I had to wear that for 2 days or something. So I've been connected to stuff before. I've been connected. It's fine. We got 300 bits from Slick Duke. Says Tommy Tax. Ooh. I don't remember what the actual rules are on. I think you can't show nipples. I think that's just the rule, but I don't know specifically. But I figured showing the heart monitor will not get me banned. Probably not.
There's an Instagram picture. You can see it a little better.
That's true. I did post that, so it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out information about the heart stuff. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I need, 2 more weeks
Yeah.
wearing the thing. And actually, they're not going to tell me when I turned it in, so I don't know when I'll find out. At some point, I'll find out. Thank you. Thanks, Haley. Appreciate it. 2 months from the Grackle Pack, 27 months from Lord Mathapon, 30 months from Advil Melon, and 300 bits from Satsu says Stephen constantly learning he's been killing himself through stress for 12 years. More at 11. It's better,
Yeah.
admittedly.
We talked about that last night.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of conversations about that, and like it, I don't know. When I was in my late 20s, I started to be like, oh, this is bad, and slowing it down. But like last year was like I dropped so many things so many things last year, and I know that it made a lot of people sad, and I totally understand. It made me sad, but also having gone through all of 2022 and living really what is like a very different life now, I'm so much happier, and I know I'm so much healthier. So like, I can't feel too bad. I really can't. It's like, you know, was it fun to do multi-year complicated projects like Skyrim and Fallout? Yeah. Was it fun to do Morning Mario for many years and Grandpa's Game Garage and you know, run every facet of the channel like by myself and all this? Like, yeah, it was fun. There were months, folks probably remember, there were months that we would do like just extra content.
Yeah.
Like we were already doing what was it? It was almost 20 uploads a week on Stephen Plays. We were already almost doing 20 uploads a week on Stephen Plays, but then like in December it was like, but now we'll also add an additional 30 uploads a month for like Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers came out. You know, like there's thousands and thousands and thousands of videos, and like I basically wrecked my 20s.
And the vlog averaged more than 7 a week too.
Yeah.
Because there was mail and Q&As and...
Yeah, and we still do mail, although we've slowed down the release, and that probably won't be like that forever. But the Q&As we just kind of retired, so... Emil says, I have no idea how you did it ever. I struggle enough with just posting videos as I'm able. It's called I was killing myself.
Yeah.
And the problem with me is that if I decide I'm going to do something, that's just it. I just do it. The line between discipline and stubbornness is very thin, and I like to straddle that line. I straddle it so hard. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like I am full of regret or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't regret it. But it was a lot, and do I miss it? And it's like, no.
Just a little?
No. And like, no. No. And it's not like, the thing is, Haley will get very, very angry. Here's the thing, like, fundamentally, things didn't change. Like, in terms of, like, what we do, vlog still exists. That's been largely untouched for, like, 14 years. And, like, Stephen Play, we still release video game content.
Yeah.
We just do it all in a manner that doesn't kill us now.
Yeah.
And, like, that's way better.
Yeah.
We changed it in such a way where we get to do the live experience, which is honestly often way more fun anyway, because you have interactivity. And then we're releasing an amount of content that is manageable. We have people that are working on that, like Dan and Juliet.
Coffee.
And Haley, you may do so at any time. Anyway, yeah, I don't know that we'd be talking about my work history, but yeah, I'm happy. And I think anyone that has been paying attention over the last 12 months will see that, like, oh man, things have changed in a big way.
Yeah.
They really have. I don't want to go back. I will keep working. I love work, but I have a leash on me, and sorry, I'm just realizing this analogy is insane. I have a leash. I am literally wearing a leash, and Mallory and Chaz and my friends all have the leash. You know what? It takes all of us to walk that Stephen talk. We were really straddling the TOS line this morning. You know, it's not even on purpose. Please don't involve me in leash time.
Do, it's me Sailor Moon.
You'll leash my time. Instead of forced overworking kinks, it's underworking kinks. Yeah, it's true. 300 bits from Item Crafting Live. It says, you've gone from drowning Pikmin emoji to cool ice cube emoji, and we're glad you're healing, and that we'll get to hang out with Grandma and Grandpa for a longer future. Thank you. That's also what I am hopeful for. Is that when you do things in a manageable way, you don't experience... Like, that's the whole thing, really, is, like, managing your workload and what you do in such a way that you do not experience burnout. As opposed to going so fast and so hard that you realize that you have been experiencing burnout, but you didn't know it until you've been experiencing it for like several years. And you're like, wait, oh, is this bad? And the answer is like, yeah, probably. Probably shouldn't have been doing that. It's fine. 13 months from Melina Ilah. 47 months from Wason Aeon. 500 bits from Wizard Sky and says, 2 weeks ago I almost got stuck with a heart monitor because I thought I had a heart attack. Did you know that symptoms of having gallstones is feeling like you're having a heart attack? One surprise surgery later and my heart feels fine. I'm glad that has a happy ending.
Yeah.
But also, no, I did not know that. That's interesting. Having gallstones feels like you're having a heart attack. I mean, my similar story, which everyone knows, is that stress often feels, you know, the same way, where stress and anxiety over feeling like something's happening to your body is like a circle.
Which is why it's important to get checked out, because it can be very serious.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you think something's wrong, you worry about that thing being wrong, which makes the thing worse. And it's just over and over and over. And sometimes the best way to break that cycle is by going to get checked out. Because for one, like, it could be something.
Yeah.
So you don't know, and you should probably find out. But number two, I have found that in several cases of issues where I've had, you know, health-related things that were caused by stress, when I end up getting checked out and the doctor's like, oh, hey, no, we did all the tests and you look good, then you feel better. And oftentimes you just drop that feeling. Like, I had chest pains, you know, to be fair, I've had chest pains over the course of years. But when I first started experiencing chest pains, they got worse and worse and worse, because it was like, I'm having chest pains and that seems bad. And then it was like, yeah, it might be bad, it might be bad, it might be, you know. And then eventually we went to the ER, and then I started seeing a cardiologist. That was like a decade ago. They did all the tests and they're like, are you stressed? And I was like, can stress do this? And they're like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh no. Anyway, I'm glad that you got it figured out. I'm glad you got it figured out. The appendix was the weird one, because when I had the appendix, I was so convinced it was one thing, and then it ended up being another thing. I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad sushi.
When you were on the futon in the office.
Oh my god.
I had the thought, I was like, maybe this is his appendix.
Yeah.
And I was right.
You were right. I was laying on that futon and I was screaming and I was cursing that sushi place. I was like, that sushi place! And then at some point I was like, wait, no, I think I need to go to the hospital. That's such a weird thing. And, like, it's something that is hard for people that are not in the U.S. to understand. because in the U.S., going to the hospital means paying lots of money. So there's no one in the U.S. that's like, I'm excited to go to the hospital. Like, there's this line mentally where you really dread. You're like, I don't want to do this. And
you have to weigh.
And you weigh it. You weigh it. Oh, Haley says Alex drove himself to the hospital when he had appendicitis. I bet that was an awful drive. Awful drive. Because I didn't go to the hospital until I was in such severe pain that it was bad. And I remember we weren't super far from the hospital, but like Mal drove and I was in the passenger seat, and I remember just being in such immense pain. And then when we got there, we got into the waiting room, and I got super violent because I was so enraged from how much I had never been in that much pain in my entire life, and there was no one in the waiting room, but they could not see us, and I was so mad. And then I passed out. Reliving a lot of fun stuff this morning. I love it. I love it. Memories make me not want to go back there. Yeah, I passed out. That's probably the most recent time I passed out. No, wait, I passed out in Japan.
Yeah.
That was, well, I didn't pass out, I just conked out, but anyway. 300 bits more Turtle, who says, hey Grandpa, what's audio ducking? Could that help something in your setup? Audio ducking is where you have two different audio sources and you tell one audio source to lower the volume by a certain amount if the other audio source
is active.
That is audio ducking. So, audio ducking, to give you like a real world example, let's say that you were doing you were playing a video game, right? Let's say you're playing a video game on Twitch, and maybe you want the video game level to be here because you want it to be pretty high, but when you talk, like if you're doing commentary, you want it to come down. So like it stays here, and if you have audio ducking set up, when you start talking, this will come down as long as you're talking. When you're done talking, it'll go back up. That's audio ducking. And that can be helpful. Actually, the earliest Stephen Plays episodes use audio ducking, but only at the very, very beginning. Like Half-Life, I had audio ducking set up. So like if you... It's a pain in the head. No? Is it?
Oh boy! A land made
so.
of milk and honey!
The earliest Stephen Plays stuff uses it. Then we never really used it after that, because when we were editing, it was better to just decide in editing like what we wanted to do with the audio. We used it during Extra Life.
Yeah.
Extra Life is a really good example. So like audio ducking is set up in Extra Life where when like everything is normal, but if the donation reader turns their mic on, then it lowers everyone on the couch. Because the most important person to hear at that moment is the person reading their donations. Mm-hmm. So that's audio ducking. In OBS, I believe you set it up by creating a side chain, which is a whole other thing. So I'm not an audio person. Like I think that I know more audio stuff than a lot of other people that I know, because there's other people that seem to have more audio troubles than I do. But it's still like it's not my forte. Recently, I had to learn about a bunch of fun audio connections and things because I was trying to hook up. I talked about it on Tuesday, but we wanted to get the stuff for karaoke.
Is that box you bought yesterday?
Yeah. So yeah, I bought a toss link to coaxial converter, and like.
Oh boy! A land made of milk and honey!
It's fine. I'm not familiar with like television audio, and I had to learn about HDMI ARC and eARC and SPDIF and all of this stuff that like I don't ever typically deal with, and that was fun. That was fun. So I have everything that I'm pretty sure will work, and yeah, we'll get that figured out. Audio is so confusing. Audio is so confusing. So confusing because, and like, I'm sure that I'm sure that for folks that don't know video, that video would be equally confusing because they're like, what the heck is a shutter angle or whatever. But like for me, audio is the thing that's like, there's so much nuance, and it's like, well, there's multiple different types of microphones, and some of them require phantom power, and with different connections, you have different, like, you have to know about bit depths and frequencies, and there's all this other like little tiny thing, and it's like, oh, well, with this cable is balanced, so what you needed is an unbalanced cable. And like as soon as you start talking about that stuff, I'm like, God, I don't. So there's been so many times in my life where I've had to look stuff up and learn things, and then I forget it because I don't need it. I don't need that information. I'm sure you have examples of stuff like that in your life too, where you have to learn something about like an element of painting or art, and you have to dive into it, and then you know it for like a few days while you need it, and then it's gone.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example, and I have nothing.
So maybe it's not a consistent problem for you. Anyway, I have to like learn it and then unlearn it, and I hate that. I really hate that. Anyway, 300 Bits from Genesis who says, so I know you guys seem to have stopped going to cons, but will you be doing PAX East this year? No.
No.
Sorry. I don't think that we'll, to be clear, like, I don't think that we will never go to another convention. I don't think that's true. But we have dialed it back in a big way. I think we'll go to another. You know what I see myself doing again? Is going to like a real small thing. Yeah, Greenville. Honestly. I don't even know if they're still doing that. But like, that convention was really cool. And something like that, like a video game collecting convention, like a real small one or something like that, I could see myself doing that. MagFest is the one that probably makes the most stinging sense. Literally, I say literally, but I'm sure there will be someone that wasn't there. But like so many of I think more of our friends go to MagFest than any other convention.
Yeah. This
year, Jeff was there. It was actually really wild because we were getting like photos of Jeff with other people. Like, it was like two friend groups colliding, and
yeah,
it was really a weird feeling, but it was cool. It was just like seeing like Jared and Jeff together. I was like, I know both of those people. And like Jeff met Sab, and like it was neat.
And
so,
Tom and
yeah. But I mean, at least Jeff like knows Tom.
Yeah.
You know, they've played games and stuff together. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll go back at some point. There's stuff in Raleigh.
Yeah.
There's stuff in Raleigh. I've gone to
Haley says, I know Tom.
I've gone to what was it? The little meetup things they've done for the video game stuff. They're not conventions, but the little video game swap meets that they've had in Raleigh. We've went to more than one of them. So
Mr. Game Boy says, I've run into Paul once or twice. We've heard about that.
That's right. Paul's told us. Yeah, Paul's run into Mr. Game Boy at the mall, which is cool. So anyway, yeah, so I'm sure that we'll probably do something like that again. We got 300 bits from Desi Desitel. Says, I started doing audio ducking in my videos after watching one of your streams. Has made a huge difference and is a big time saver for me in editing. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if you've never tried it, then try it, because it might work really well for your specific use case. The other thing that you can do is you can do audio ducking in post. So that is another thing that is an option. Like, you can tell your editing software to, like, if this, then do this. So that's another option for folks. It doesn't have to be necessarily a live thing.
Yeah.
So you can look that up. Haley says, I haven't run into one of your fans in years. See, that's surprising.
Because it's been like once a month we've run into someone.
Yeah, in Raleigh, we've run into someone once a month, and you just haven't been with us at the time. But, like, we were
with Josh and it happened.
We were with Josh. We were with Josh in a grocery store somewhere, and we ran into someone. We were with Josh again in a Costco.
Yeah.
It was us and Josh and Brandon. Maybe Dan.
Yeah.
It was when we were, like, preparing for Extra Life. We ran into someone at Costco.
It's happened at Limited Run.
Yep. We ran into someone at Limited Run. We ran into someone at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's averaging probably about once a month. So it'll probably continue to happen. I mean, that's the one thing about living in a bigger city like this, is that there's more opportunity for folks to see us. So if you see us, say hey. People are always welcome to be like, you know, hey, I know you from the internet. And I'll say, cool. And we can chat. We got 300 bits from Genesis that says, well, apparently this is Emil's favorite alert, so here's looking at you, kid. Sugar. Sugar's a good one. Mummy's a good one. Forget about Mummy sometimes.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyway, yeah. We'll go to a con again someday.
Yeah, someday.
I think it's also kind of leading into that too. It's been difficult to even think about travel, just because the last year, or I mean, ever since the move, it's just been like a lot TM to even like consider anything like that. So when things calm down more, then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The next travel, we talked about it on Tuesday, is TRG Coliseum, and I am excited about Coliseum. I'm a little more excited knowing that I'll be able to actually work on and make bumpers. Because before Tuesday, I was not so sure that was going to be a reality.
Haley had a good point.
Yeah.
Like with the camera lens, like with focal length, like we look different sometimes in person.
And
then she has the example of when she met Tom in real life. He was taller than she expected.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that way, like, if I've been around people and then, like, we do a Saturday game night and I see them on a webcam, I'm like, they look different. Like, they still look like them, but it's, like, slightly different.
This is you're giving me such an opening to talk about cameras.
Don't.
Okay.
You're different because you're tall. Everyone knows you're tall. So you see a tall person.
You're different because you're tall. Like, you know, a freak. Like a monster that eats small children. That emerges from the woods, you know. Like something scary from a horror movie.
You stand out.
Like a cryptid.
You're the tallest thing in the area, so people look and they're like, oh, a tall person. Like Steven. That is Steven.
Poggy's almost as tall as me, look. I've got a few inches on him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Haley said, "It's fine. You're Bigfoot. I'm a goblin."
Also, this is our first Poggy since introducing the Poggy emote. And how exciting is it to have Poggy happen and then all the little Poggies? I love that. It's so great to have Big Poggy and then all the chat is like Poggy, 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 Poggy. It's my new favorite thing in the world. 3,000 the babies.
Fractal Poggy.
3,000 bits for Full Metal Grizz. Poggy is also very excited about Coliseum. He's brimming with excitement. He should be. He absolutely should be. Thank you, Full Metal Grizz. I think it's fun that there is an alert that if you trigger it, like, you know, all of chat will also be, like, joining you. It's like, this is how I sway chat to do this thing. Yeah, Coliseum is coming up. We just had a meeting on, was it Tuesday?
It was Tuesday.
So yeah, Tuesday night we actually just had another meeting about it. Where it's happening.
Yeah,
It's happening.
there's dates.
God, it's not even. How many days until March 3rd? 43 days. 43 days. It's a lot.
Set a reminder. Where's reminders? There's reminders.
It's fine.
Message MC
Coffee.
It's fine.
today.
It's fine.
6 p.m.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Okay.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Poggers. 300 bits from Colin says Poggy is no clown. 500 bits from Item Crafting Live with the George Poggy Star Rain. And 300 bits from Mitchell, who says, have you organized any segments that you will be hosting for Coliseum? Also, any hints? So, with how the planning for Coliseum works, we do not, and this might be surprising to know, but we do not have a schedule set in stone yet. We're 43 days out from the event. We don't have a schedule set in stone. We do have
A bunch of
ideas, but it's not in stone quite yet. Emil says, being on the board for planning this event while making Paper Mario videos, while making bumpers, while coming up with segments, while bitching about Sticker Star is hard work. Possibly one of the greatest sentences written by a person.
What I assume happens between like now and the event is like Emil and MC and whoever else like go through the ideas and just start putting them in a schedule in order.
Yeah. I mean,
there will be a schedule.
Yeah, there obviously will be a schedule.
Yeah.
One of our the most recent meeting was talking very specifically about segments.
And the feasibility of
and
them.
The feasibility, and like that's one of the biggest things. Is like, there's many times where you have like an idea, and it's like, okay, can you come up with the most wild, cool idea ever? Sure, but can you do it? Can you do it? How much setup does it take? How much teardown does it take? Is it something that you can realistically do? It's just. There's a lot of things to factor in whenever you're trying to come up with that sort of thing. To answer your question, I will just say that there are let's say that there are many segments from the past that everyone seemed to like. There will be many of those that return.
Brandon says, that's what we call a feasibility analyst in the business and a vibe check on the streets.
Yes. Yeah. There's been a lot of Haley, you will actually. There's been a lot of segments over the past, was it 5-6 years, that people have seemed to really enjoy, and we're doing that. Michigan boy, what? You're doing things people liked again? I wouldn't have guessed that. Well, it's not my place. It's not my it's not my place to reveal all of the secrets of TRG Coliseum, right? It's not my place to reveal all the secrets. So like, I don't want to get on stream and just start being like, here's everything that's happening. Don't tell John, but here's the entire thing. This is what you can expect.
Emil's in chat. This is what you can expect.
Yeah, Emil's here, and I'm like, all right. So, so we're definitely doing this one and this one. This one was bad, so we're throwing that one out. Emil says feedback from last year was considered for donation incentives in the schedule. Yeah, and that's why we did the That's why we did the
submission.
The what do they call it? The form.
The survey?
Survey. We did a survey at the end of the Coliseum last year, and that. This may surprise you, but we read it. We read it.
We had a meeting where we all read it.
In fact, we read, and we went over it recently as well, just to look at that stuff. But as far as like where we are in the process, I think
we have a good idea of what segments there are going to be.
Despite the event being 43 days away, I think the general public would assume that we're further along than we are, and we're not. But that's okay, because we all work really well under pressure.
See 2020 Coliseum when we were like, maybe we should just do this from home. Quick, pivot everything.
Yeah. I mean, and like that's the best example, because we had been planning to do an in-person event, and then it was like very, very last minute that we went, Dirt! And it worked. But I gotta tell you, God, I'm so excited to be in person with everyone again. I really am. That's gonna be fantastic. We got a subscription from Andy Miller.
Welcome.
300 bits of Ninja. It says, loose lips, Link's hips, Stephen. I've never sung a ship before. I've sung many ships, actually.
Yeah.
Haley will sing my ship. Hey, it's a bean time. Here's a bean. Yeah, Japan! Is Cardboard John coming back? I'm just going to go ahead and answer this one. I'm going to tell you that I don't know. Because I know that people are very excited about the prospect of that, but I don't want people to be disappointed if it doesn't happen. And I'm just trying to be honest with you.
Cardboard John is...
Cardboard John...
larger than real life John.
Cardboard John is very huge.
Yeah.
Cardboard John is like 7 foot something tall.
Yeah.
And even though I know he packs down, I honestly do not think that he will fit in the car, because we are taking 4 people and all of their stuff and then also equipment. Like as much as I really would love Cardboard John to be there, like I really don't know that we can do that. So yeah, Dan and Josh are riding with us. And that's... everyone's like strapped into the road. That doesn't seem... I just want you to imagine a scenario in which Cardboard John flies off the roof of our car. All of a sudden, John, across someone's windshield, they wreck the car. The news is there, and they're like, this person was in an automobile accident. And then they cut to footage of a standee of John. So then John is on the evening news there's like fire and wreckage in the background, and they're like, this man, this cardboard cutout of this man. Can you identify this man? Do you have any idea how much trouble I'll be in if John is on the American news? They're like, there was a 17-car pileup today, and we don't know who to blame, but it's this man. We need to find this man. It would be a great bumper. Like, would be a great bumper. It'd be like day 2 of the event, and John would be like, Steven, what? He'd be like showing me the art. He'd be like, what happened? I'd be like, I don't know. That's weird. It looks like maybe someone else also had a cardboard standee of you. Because mine's at home, John. I didn't even bring it. I didn't even try. I left it at home. I wouldn't even do that. Anyway, everyone saying we need this to happen just makes it sound like we need a 17-car pileup and we need John to be at fault. If only we can make this occur. Anyway, yeah, so I just, again, like, John, I don't think, with the way our trunk works, I don't think John fits in there. Like, even if he's, like, under all of the stuff, I don't think it physically fits. So we'd have to cut John up into tiny pieces. We'd have to draw and quarter John. I don't know. That's the best way of doing it. We gotta fold him up a little bit more. 30 Bits Minecrafting Live says, 15 injured by the likeness of Canadian celebrity and Rosalina cosplayer Proton John, Lord 11. It's not what you want to happen.
No.
Generally. Generally, it's not what you want. But that's okay. There's other fun things. There's other fun things. So that's good. It's good. It's fine. It's good. We need to draw and quarter John. A clip coming to an exhibition near you. Okay. Anyway, let me try and steer the car to a different direction here. Just leaving this topic behind. Coliseum's coming up. It's 40 whatever days away. It'll be great. Stay tuned for more information. As soon as we're allowed to tell you stuff, like, I plan on telling you stuff. I want you to know that. Like, I, personally, Stephen George, I have no vested interest in keeping things secret from you. I only have interest in telling you things to get you excited for the event. So as soon as I am, like, legally allowed to tell you that, like if for instance, this is a hypothetical, like, if we were doing a segment, and as soon as I'm allowed to tell you that, like, I will tell you. I will tell you. Theoretically, I guess no one can stop me from just telling you now, but, you know, it seems to me that the best course of action is to try and hype up the event as opposed to keeping it a secret. That's my philosophy. So, you know, I'll let you know. Lamp 3 or 4? Why would... Oh, sorry, Mr. Zip, I have a question. Why are we skipping Lamp 3? First off, a third Lamp film, very unlikely. Lamp 1 was real hard. Lamp 2 was stupid hard. Why did we do that? We did not get sleep for days. Lamp 3 is very unlikely. But why would we skip the third Lamp? 2 Lamp videos. As far as there being a video or a bumper or whatever that includes the lamp in some capacity, I'm sure it's likely. Like, we don't have a direct plan for that at this particular moment.
That's the other thing we have to bring is the lamp.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have a lot of stuff because we have, like, our clothes and Dan's clothes and Josh's clothes. Josh may have to bring some equipment.
Yeah.
Which that might be a whole thing that may need to be discussed.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss that.
Because that on the last meeting, they were talking about some stuff, and Josh was like, I could bring some equipment, and my first thought was like, I don't know that you can actually. I'm not completely sure that you can do that.
Yeah, I mean,
because we may not have room.
Yeah.
I am also going to have.
And I mean,
I'm bringing the Pelican case.
He can drive himself. If
but
we
like,
need to go that route. But yeah.
Don't drive yourself because you need to like bring an Xbox. That's the dumbest thing. Like, do not do that. Like, just have someone else who is coming bring an Xbox. That's my philosophy. Like, don't do that. Like, let's just take one car. But I got to take the Pelican case because I need the camera because that's important. And I'm gonna have a laptop. Dan's going to have a laptop because we are going to be editing a lot of stuff. So, here's the thing. If we needed 2 cars, it would be like barely. So my philosophy is don't. Childay says, your equipment is more important than Josh's. Yes! Absolutely! Abso-positively, no doubt in my mind, yes. I can answer that question. Yes. If we need an Xbox, you can just go to like a GameStop and be like, give me this Xbox. We cannot replace the Pelican case full of camera equipment. That can't happen. One thing is much easier to get. So yeah, that's we gotta make sure we have a fairly big car.
Yeah.
But when you consider clothes and camera and laptop and a lamp, we have to bring a lamp. Then then it's like, well, let's be mindful of all of the things that we're bringing. That's what I think. Is this a? Yep. Hi, Subby.
Hi, Subby.
We got 43 months of Triganthia Platinum Toast. It says, I almost have enough time saved to ask for Kahlo off. Only problem, we still don't have a store manager to approve it. Here's hoping my DM does.
District manager. Also, can Cardboard John go with the spare tire? I think our spare is under the car.
Yeah. So, to answer your question, I mean, it would not be impossible, but I would worry, again, that John would fly out from under the car and kill multiple people. Or we would get there and John would be, mangled. He would become Dirty John! Oh my god! Woo! Chaz, sharp as attack. Oh, man. This is a fun reminder that if anyone hasn't watched our 4-part series where we played Garfield Kart...
You almost said Garf Car.
That we play Garf Kart, you absolutely have to watch. You know what you're watching. If you haven't watched Steven and Friends Play Garf Kart, it's a 4-part series. It's great. It slowly devolves into madness.
And Golf with Your Friends does it?
Golf with Your Friends just starts and ends angry. Garf Kart starts with hope and ends with sadness and madness. Chaz has got a helpful link for anyone that wants to begin the Garfield Kart quadrilogy. God, I haven't thought about Garfield Kart in a while. And Chaz just brings us back with Dirty John. Oh, Dirty John. Yeah, that's how you get Dirty John.
Mr. Deathkill says, whose idea was Garf Car anyway? Before anyone answers, who do you think? Out of all of us, who do you think? I'm very curious.
So here's the thing. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's Thomas. And
That's kind of where I was going with that. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's Thomas.
The fact that 90% of chat is like, Thomas? I'm like, yeah, I couldn't remember, but I was like, I bet it was Thomas. And then chat was like, I bet it's Thomas. And I was like, yeah, it's Thomas. It's definitely Thomas. Thomas was like, what if we played this?
It's on sale right now.
It's on sale. Yeah, that's right. Thomas told us it was on sale for $1. So we everyone got it. We played it, and we were forever moved by the Lord. So, good job, Garfield Cart. They keep making those, by the way.
They do?
They keep making Garfield Kart and games for some reason. Maybe at some point we'll play more of it. Anyway. Oh, is Thomas doing the RE2 remake? He's done so much Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So much Resident Evil. Haley says it was a real bang for a buck.
It was.
Yeah, we all got banged. For just $1. So anyway,
Things that are coming up.
Things that are coming up. Let's talk about things that are coming up. We have got Mario Galaxy 2 tomorrow, which is a great stream. We've been really enjoying that, so I hope that you will tune in. Where are we? We're in World 2?
Yeah, we are.
We're in World 2. We're in World 2. And it's not like we necessarily committed to doing 100%, but we are definitely trying to do 100%. Like, we're trying to get all the comic coins. We're, like, being real vigilant about, getting stuff and finding the secret stars and things like that. So, we're working towards that. Yeah, like, we want to do 100%. We're not committing to it, but we kind of are. It's fine. We plan to give up when it gets really hard and we go, oh no.
Yeah.
Chaz is so worried about that stuff. Like, please, oh god. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Let's let's play the game. We're just gonna play the game. We're just gonna play the game.
See what happens.
Play the game. And then, at some point my brain will kick into that mode where it's like, well, we're already this far.
Renee.
Because that's how I tend to live. It's fine. The other things that are happening is
Sunday?
Yeah! Oh my god! Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you this thing that I'm to be perfectly honest with you, I'm a little it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But I'm a little nervous about it from I don't know what the perspective, the idea of like trying to get across all of the information to the stream itself.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of information that is going to be on the table in a way that is going to be very difficult to convey.
Yes.
But we will try.
Yes.
On Sunday, we're going to have some folks over to do the Pathfinder Adventure card game. If you're not familiar with the Pathfinder Adventure card game, it is a... how do I explain it? It's an adventure card game. Oh, that's in the name. It's like a tabletop role-playing game.
And there's cards.
Boggle. It's like a tabletop role-playing game, but it's a little less fluid, and it's got a bunch of I don't know. It's a card game. It's a fun card game.
It's an adventure card game.
It's an adventure card game, and you find a path. It's fun. I've played through it. I've played through it before. Mal and I played through it with some friends a few years ago, and it was very, very enjoyable. It's Pathfinder light, you uncultured swines. Yeah, if you're familiar with Pathfinder, it'll actually be quite familiar.
That's a good way to put it for 1001. It's a tabletop RPG deck builder.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Like, you have a character, and your character has stats and like gets bigger and stronger. There's a lot of dice rolling. There will be some role-playing elements. So it'll be fun.
We're hoping to have N3 friends.
I mean, some friends. I mean, Alex
Yeah.
and Haley will definitely be here. We will need or could use
Yeah.
more folk.
Yeah.
so we should get possibly more folk. But yeah, like D&D Light, it's a tabletop role-playing game, but you don't need a DM because no one is
all
DMing
done
it.
by the
It
cards.
has rules. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. How are we all gonna fit at the table?
It'll be like when we did Gingerbread Haley. That's how many.
Yeah. Stop calling it D&D. It's literally... Well, some folks do not know what Pathfinder is. But
Yeah.
Pathfinder is another tabletop role-playing game that has a very long storied history and is also very, very popular. And if you know Pathfinder, you'll know the characters, actually, because the characters are the same. So, because it's still... I can't remember any of the characters' names. But the characters are the same. Like, the famous Pathfinder characters are the characters that you play as in the...
Card one.
Yeah.
The card version.
It's really cool. Like, my hope is that folks will watch the stream on Sunday and they'll be like, oh man, I really think this is neat and I have a group of friends that would love to play this. Because if you like it, like, it's a game that you can play and it takes... To get through, because we played through all of it, it took probably 60 or 70 hours to get through it all. And it's fun, man.
And we thought we'd give it a shot
It's genuinely
for
fun.
tabletop streams and see what we think. Because, like, all the cards are a lot of information.
Yeah. Oh, Alyssa points out you can play... Yeah, I forget about that. But yeah, you can play it solo, too. You can totally play it solo. And it's still enjoyable. So yeah, we'll be doing that on Sunday, and I'm
excited to play it. It's fun.
I'm excited to play it. It's just, there is a lot of stuff that is happening on cards.
And they're card-sized.
And they are card-sized. So, like, it's impossible to show information. Like, we'll have the top-down cam for the middle of the table.
Yeah.
But, like... Past that, it's gonna be interesting. There will be a lot of explaining, but I think it'll be good because it'll be a good test of like trying to do something like that. So we'll be trying to explain it. In an ideal situation, we would have like all the cards scanned and we could display them on screen. But like, there's no way we can do that. There's no way we can do that. The amount of effort that would take is wild. So instead, we'll just be talking a lot about what's happening. Hopefully people will be into it. But it's fun. It's a fun game. I really enjoyed it when we played it before. So yeah, that's Sunday at 11 a.m. So be sure to check that out.
Can you scroll up for Haley? Wait.
Nothing says tasty like Tiny Eddie's burnt popcorn fluffies.
Tiny Eddie, I think someone just ran the microwave too long.
That was a bitch. Tricky Anthea says... Oh, I don't think I told this story yet. I went into work on my day off last month for an appreciation lunch and got a giggle from wearing my Tiny Eddie shirt. The assistant manager and one of my cashiers both asked who he was. I love hazing people with it. It would be very alarming. So here's the thing that I wonder, is that if anyone manages to get the connection to Little Debbie.
Yeah.
Because,
that
like... and the answer might be no, because you're thrown off of the scent so much because you're like, what am I looking at? But like, if you look at it for just a second and you think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, because I'm dressed like Little Debbie. But wait, do you get it? Do you get it though? Anyway, burnt popcorn fluffies is, yes, it's just microwaving the popcorn for too long, which is such a terrible feeling.
And the scent just lingers.
It does. It's real bad. It's real bad. Brings me back into the whole realm of like, I hate that the microwaves have the popcorn button, but everything, every piece of, every microwavable popcorn thing you get is like, whatever you do, don't use the popcorn button. And I'm like, you gotta let me trust my microwave.
Many times they evacuated our dorm room, like the whole hall, for people over microwaving popcorn and setting the smoke alarms off. Multiple times.
New from Riot Games, Chun-Li must tiptoe through Magic Camp to defeat Han Solo.
Sorry. The idea that multiple times people
Over microwaved the popcorn and started.
That's nuts.
Set the smoke alarm off. Yeah, multiple times.
Sorry.
It was like monthly.
That's really upsetting to me because like you put it in for a time and then the microwave stops. Did they just be like 10 minutes?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's a good point. Mr. Gameboy says, happened to me, someone put their microwave in for 30 minutes instead of 3. That's got to be it then, right? It's not necessarily that they put it for a high number and I'll just check it myself. It's that they mistyped a number. That's got to be it. That makes more sense. Haley says, Steven, some people have never been on their own before. I'm on my own now and I can't read. I have forgotten how to read. This says 3 minutes, and I'm gonna guess 56. That's a bit more turtle. It says Beacon Pines, Wandering Village, and Forgotten City. What game could come out of these great ones combined? Chun-Li must tiptoe through Magicant to defeat Han Solo. I would love to see Chun-Li fight Han Solo. And you know, I'm not entirely sure which one would win.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, well, definitely Han. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Have you seen Chun-Li? I think Chun-Li has got a good shot. Like, I don't care about no force. I don't care about no lightsaber. I don't care about no gun. I guess Han doesn't have a lightsaber. You can hand someone a lightsaber. You don't have to be a Jedi to use a lightsaber, right? Like, anyone can pick up a lightsaber. Right? I don't know. I'm actually asking this as a legitimate question because I'm not familiar with Star Wars lore. Do you have to be like pure of heart before the lightsaber comes out? Like if you don't, it does like the Spaceballs droopy one or something. Like you have to have like anyone. It's just a weapon, right? Like you can hand someone. You don't have to be good or evil. You don't have to. If you're in the middle, it's just like I have to use guns. Okay, it's just a weapon. All right. The advantage you have as a Jedi is that if you drop it, you don't have to physically pick it up. You can just be like, hey, come back. And it's like, okay. You have like magnets. If you're a Jedi, they give you some magnets to put on the lightsaber. I know a lot about Star Wars. 27 months from Pickletron XD. 300 bits some Satsy. It says, from what I understand, some microwave brands have a popcorn button, but not actually set to popcorn specifications. So popcorn companies decided it was easier to say, don't start a fire, than shout at the companies, I suppose. That's, I mean, fair. Although, none of the popcorn buttons should be set high enough to start a fire, right?
I mean, it's so varied, right? Like, microwaves have voltage and power
That's
levels,
the biggest problem.
And every one of them is different. And
That's the biggest problem.
Sometimes you get a microwave that's not, like, easy to find where your voltage is.
That's the biggest problem, yeah. First time chat from No Ice 5 says, where did you get those media shelves behind you? Building my game room and those look decent enough. Those are the IKEA Billies.
IKEA Billies.
Aquila. The IKEA. Those are the IKEA Billies.
And you can buy extra shelves, and we have 2 extra shelves on each.
Yes. Yeah. The, Aquilabilla.
Aquilabilla.
I guess things may have changed a little bit, but whenever we first got Billy's like years ago, it was absolutely the best, because I did so much research on like
what your options were.
What my options were, like a lot of research. At the time, it was the best quality for the best price and the best quantity. Like it could hold the most stuff.
And they're pretty deep, so you can see the Super Nintendo cart right here. And behind that, there's some, what are they, 3DS?
Yeah.
So we have them double stacked right now. Like, the GameCube ones, there's another GameCube game behind all those GameCube games. Yeah. It's, Switches single stacked back here.
If you're, for those that have the interest, if you have the 2 extra shelves on a Billy, that's 8 shelves. Each shelf will hold 50 standard DVD cases, so 400 games. other standard DVD cases, and that's single stacked. So if you decide to double stack them, which is a little inconvenient, but if you need to hold more stuff, that's 800. So you can hold 800 games if you buy a Billy and 2 extra shelves. So, and there might be better like priced options at this point, maybe, but the IKEA stuff is built really well for the cost. I've owned some other bookshelves over the years that were cheap.
Yeah.
Like, and they, you know, if you're gonna build it and then screw it into the wall and never ever touch it, you might be able to find cheaper options. But for things
like
that
custom
but
built?
like we've moved with these like multiple times.
Holy Fireheart
So.
says, doesn't having shelves double stacked make it impossible to find a specific XYZ that's behind? Yes.
Yeah, and like that's the downside. Is that, and I would never want.
And I've given thought to it, like, what if we made more space between each row, and then done like a something so the back row sits like stadium a little bit.
Yeah.
What we need to do is we need to alphabetize these.
If it was alphabetized, it'd be easier to find.
Yeah, because
It'd be easier to find.
the other room has Wii and Wii U, and those are alphabetized, but nothing on this wall is.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, you know, in an ideal world, I would keep it all single stacked, but like I can't.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough room, so it just has to. It just has to do it, and it's fine.
They were alphabetized once upon a time, but then we moved,
Yeah.
and we will do it again at some point.
It's also hard. It's one of the and this is such a very specific problem, like a 0.0000001% problem. My problem is that if you complete the library, that's great. You can alphabetize that and you know it's never going to move. That's wonderful. However, if you alphabetize anything else, then when you get more games, you're in trouble again. And that is a problem, because I can alphabetize Xbox 360, but then, you know, I get an Xbox 360 game. Sometimes people send in games, and sometimes there'll be quite a few, so they'll send in a handful of Xbox 360 games, and while I appreciate it, I then have to, like, redo everything. So you just end up, like, making a new stack, and then alphabetizing again later. Yeah.
What we need to do is, like, GameCube is done, N64 is done. We should put those that way. So that these shelves are more empty.
Yeah.
And we also have the one in your room that's just full of, like, equipment stuff right now.
Yeah.
We should put, like, carts on that. Like these loose Super Nintendo carts.
Yeah. There's better ways to do it. It hasn't been a focus yet, because we're not quite to doing stuff with them.
Yeah.
We're approaching it, but we're not quite there yet, so. Yeah. Anyway, I always love helping folks figure out, like, shelving and stuff, because it's a pain. Like, learning about all that stuff is a pain, so if I can offer any assistance to save folks time, I'm always happy to do it, because researching it was a pain in the butt. Yeah.
So yeah, Sunday, Pathfinder.
Yeah, I guess we should wrap up.
Saturday,
Yeah,
do you know what Stephen and Friends is coming out? Offhand?
I don't. I
Okay.
think Codenames?
Yeah, there is one of those that exists at least.
Maybe Codenames? I think it's Code. Yeah,
Chess is
Codenames sounds good.
Codenames. There
So-
were some good code names that we did. What are you looking for?
Where did you... It's like you said Family Feud, and I was like, where do you see Family Feud? I picked up Family Feud recently, but I'm like, where did I put it that you see
Oh,
it?
it's sitting up. It's behind the Mario Party e-reader. It's like face
Oh,
up.
okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. I just picked up Family Feud.
Right here.
One of the things that I'm trying to do this year is like I'm working towards PS2, right? But like PS2 is real big and real hard, and it's just kind of like occasionally I'm picking stuff up where I can, but not focusing super hard on it because it's very daunting. It's one of those things that like Roland really wants me to work on PS2, and I'm like, okay, that's a long term thing. So one of the things that I'm doing instead is when I'm going into a game store this year, I'm trying to pick up loose SNES cards. And like, I'm not trying to go into a store and like get all the ones I don't have. I'm not doing that. It's just like one cheap game that I don't already possess. And that's been something that I'm working towards. So that's why I have Family
Because
Feud.
I think both of us would love to have a complete Super Nintendo collection.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
just slowly.
Well, at least
here and there.
At least until I get to like the last whatever it is, the last 50, where they're all like very expensive, and then I start getting less excited about it. Last night I was looking up some of the more obscure titles, and like I found my way onto the Exertainment bike. I don't know if folks know this, there was an exercise bike for the Super Nintendo. It's extremely rare, and there was some games made for it, and one of them is this biking game that is also... So they made a biking game, and they made a Speed Racer game, which apparently support the bike, but there's also this very rare cart that has both games in one. So it's like Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally and also Speed Racer. And like the Bike Rally game is like $50 and Speed Racer is like $30. And the game that has both of them on it is like $3,000. So like I don't want that one, you know?
We'll see.
I don't want that. I don't have any interest in that, but I actually got a copy. I got a chance to see a copy of that in person. They had a copy of that in person at the that Greenville video game swap.
There was a handful of stuff
thing
there that I wish we would have picked up at the time, but we didn't.
Emil said Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote a review of this game. I am not kidding. Really? That's super interesting. That's super interesting. Anyway, yeah, the Exertainment bike is it's real neat. There's one on eBay right now. I think it's like $4,500 or something like that. You basically can't find them, but it's super neat. It's also, I believe, the only peripheral to be released in North America that utilized the expansion port of the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo has got an expansion port, and there was never anything released in North America that used it except for the exercise bike. Neat. Anyway, 28 months from Anti-Hero Thank you. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Tomorrow night, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I like how you had to cross your arms, but you couldn't put
But
it
I
on
couldn't
your
put it
chest.
down. Sorry, Haley. You'll expand what? What is it? You'll expand my what? Just... Sorry, you didn't get a chance to finish your... sentence. So I was just giving you a chance to finish that. Chaz, vlog grade! Yeah, there's a vlog out. It's a really good one, by the way.
Is it the board game one? Awesome.
It's a really good one. Go check out the vlog, and hopefully I'll have more out today too. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Thank y'all for being here. Do tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing Super Mario Galaxy 2. It's a very fun time, and we will see you then. Do 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 do.